Among the pantheon of trivial modern dilemmas faced by a man who has endured the breakup of significant relationships, one stands out with deceptive solemnity as a true strategic crossroads. Should he send a ritualistic birthday greeting to a woman from his past? Conventional wisdom, dictated by the rules of superficial politeness, insistently whispers that this is a basic sign of respect, a gesture of a civilized man. But we are not here to discuss etiquette rules designed to maintain comfortable illusions. We are here to understand the mechanics of power, self-respect, and that cold, unshakable superiority born not from words, but from their deliberate absence. Chapter 1. Anatomy of Modern Male Weakness. Let's be brutally honest. The very existence of this question in your mind is already a symptom. The desire to send this message stems not from strength or generosity. It grows from a deeply ingrained fear, imposed by a modern culture that has cultivated the image of the nice guy, convenient, reliable, always ready to smooth things over. It's the fear of appearing toxic, the fear of being misunderstood, the fear of confronting the emptiness within yourself without her approval. Society never told you that the nice guy archetype inspires neither genuine respect nor primal attraction. By congratulating her, you aren't showing politeness. You are performing a ritualistic self-humiliation at the altar of her ego, voluntarily confirming your role in a humiliating play where you are the eternal supplicant. You demonstrate that her opinion of you still serves as your compass, meaning you have yet to leave her system of coordinates. Chapter 2. Philosophy of Strength and Stoic Lessons. This dilemma is not new. The wisest minds of humanity, from Roman emperors to strategists of ancient China, understood that true power lies not in action, but in deliberate restraint from it. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, wrote not about influencing others, but about defending to the last your inner citadel, your mind. Your silence on her birthday is not a petty grudge. It is a practice of the Stoic principle in its purest form. Focus on what is within your control, your decisions, your principles, your reactions, and cultivate complete, absolute indifference to what does not belong to you, her thoughts, her emotions, her expectations. Sending a message hands over the keys to your citadel. Maintaining silence strengthens its walls. Chapter 3. Mechanics of her expectation. From this position of strength, observe the unfolding drama. Understand a fundamental truth. Her birthday is not just a date on the calendar. It is a carefully prepared emotional stage where she plays the lead role, and you, unbeknownst to you, are cast as the expected guest whose presence or absence will determine the play's success. Weeks before, her mind begins constructing an architecture of anticipation, a complex neurochemical process that American researchers call the anticipation-reward cycle. This is not just fantasies of gifts and friends' attention. At the center of this whirlwind lies a specific, obsessive expectation of a signal from the past. Your signal. She may convince herself otherwise, but deep in her limbic system, she bets on your message as confirmation of her enduring power over your reality. The day arrives. The morning begins with a peak level of neurotransmitters, creating a sense of euphoria and omnipotence. She wakes not just in a good mood. She wakes with a deep, almost mystical sense of entitlement to receive signs of attention from all sides. Every call, every message from friends and family only fuels the central expectation. But the hours pass. Morning turns to afternoon, afternoon to evening, and from you, deafening, piercing silence. This is when the drama unfolds, impossible to stage intentionally. Her brain, programmed for a dose of validation, encounters what systems analysts call a prediction error. The expected impulse did not arrive. The neurochemical surge that carried her on a wave gives way to a crushing ebb, exposing the ugly bottom of anxiety paved with cortisol. By evening, her state is no longer mild disappointment. It is a heavy, viscous, existential discomfort. One single question drills into her mind, drowning out all other thoughts. Why? This question triggers a cascade of obsessive actions. She will check your online status with feverish precision, scouring the internet for the slightest signs of your new life, constructing theories, one more absurd than the next, from your sudden amnesia to the appearance of a new, more significant woman. The entire facade of her celebration, meticulously built for social media, smiles, balloons, bouquets, turns into a digital backdrop behind which yawns emptiness. As one Stanford psychology professor aptly noted in an article on digital narcissism, the louder the online carnival, the quieter and darker the room where its organizer sits. She is forced to play the role of a happy birthday girl, while a cold tumor of your indifference grows within her. Chapter 4. Silence as a Statement. Your silence is not passive inaction. It is an active, surgically precise act of communication. In any society, especially American, rituals of congratulation serve to confirm belonging to one's own. These are not just words. They are a symbolic handshake affirming, "You are in my circle, you matter." Excluding her from this ritual, you do not merely forget a date. You make an unambiguous statement at the most primal, reptilian level of her consciousness. You are an outsider. Your social equity in my life is nullified. This signal cannot be misinterpreted or ignored. It bypasses her rational mind and strikes directly at the center of her emotional perception. Here begins the most interesting part. After the initial wave of hurt and anger subsides, her brain, unable to accept the loss of control, initiates a reevaluation process. Your significance, steadily declining until now, begins to paradoxically grow. It is precisely at the moment of realizing her complete powerlessness to change anything that she truly understands she has lost you. Not the man who was by her side, but an influential figure capable of managing her state with a single word or silence. Your silence is not the petulance of a small boy. It is the stance of a grown man whose universe no longer revolves around her. As they say on Wall Street, your attention is your most valuable asset. Don't spend it on failed ventures. Chapter 5. Strategy of the Long Game. The effect of your silence does not end the next day. It only begins its work. This act is not a finish line, but a starting shot for your long-term strategy of rebirth. Over the course of months, the following unfolds. Her anger turns to bewilderment. Bewilderment morphs into obsessive curiosity. After 6 months, when she sees, and she will be watching, that your life not only continues, but gains height and complexity without her involvement, this curiosity transforms into a distorted, almost mystical form of respect. She will face the undeniable fact. Her departure did not destroy you, but catalyzed your growth. But this should not concern you. Her psychological metamorphoses are merely a byproduct. While she navigates these stages, your task is not to wait for fair weather or glance at her shore. Your task is to build your battleship. Every hour you did not spend analyzing her reaction or awaiting a reply, you must reinvest in yourself, in your body, your bank account, your knowledge, your mission. Your silence on her birthday was a statement not only to her, but to yourself. You no longer waste energy on dead projects. You are building an empire in your name, and access to the throne room is now yours alone. Conclusion. Tactical objections and final decision. Let's dispel the last cowardly arguments you might use to comfort yourself. We parted amicably. So what? An amicable breakup does not negate the fundamental restructuring of your roles. You are no longer her emotional guardian. What if she thinks I'm offended or petty? A man whose decisions are driven by fear of appearing bad in the eyes of a woman who left him has already lost. He still resides in her system of coordinates, in a weak, subordinate position. Your task is to build your own system, with your own center of gravity. What if we have kids together? In this sole case, communication is permissible, but it must be sterile, like an operating room. A short, emotionless message, strictly about the kids or relaying greetings from them. No wishing happiness, no personal notes. This is an administrative task, not an attempt to reconnect. So, the next time this question arises, remember, any congratulation is a voluntary surrender of positions. Your silence, conversely, is not just a tactical move. It is the first step in building a new version of yourself. A version so whole and self-sufficient that it no longer needs approval from the past. This is a statement not about what you wish for her, but about who you are becoming. And it will be the most powerful message she has ever received.